Close that. Let's get everything pulled up. And then, am I bringing it in?
Yeah, if you want.
Okay, cool. All right. And welcome back to Mad Sports Talk. You got me, AJ Douglas. I'm here with Mason Pierce, JT Deloach, and you got Sam Ulrich. All here. We got the full squad all tuning in to this week's preview of college football. Since Texas Tech doesn't got a game this week, we're on our bye. We're going to talk a little NFL since we don't have to worry about spending as long on the Texas Tech this week, and then maybe a little bit of MLB. We got some interesting things going on in the MLB side of sports, so really putting in that sports talk to use on the name of the podcast. So we'll just, I guess we'll get started with your guys' thoughts on. We'll touch up a little bit on last week, just a little bit, like very quick. If you really want to go into depth, we got Tuesday's episode that has our 30-40 minute long thoughts about the Utah game. So anything y'all are excited for and getting ready for the Houston next week, as I think we all are looking to make that trip down there. So we'll see how that goes. Anybody want to start?
Shoot, I'll go ahead.
Good.
Obviously, last week, dominating win against Utah. A lot of hype in the program right now. We're going into an in-state rivalry game next week down in Houston. I think is one of the first times, if not ever, they've played down in Houston, Tech has. So I think it'll be a great game, great environment. All of us boys are looking to go down there for that game. I think it'll be entertaining, maybe get some content from it. Yeah, nothing crazy. I think we're getting a really good timing bye week, especially with Barron, giving him some time to heal. And, I think defense as well to enjoy the rest. What thoughts do y'all got?
Nick, do you want to go or?
Yeah, I'm good. I think really not much to add on to that. I think we touched a lot on it on Tuesday. I feel like it's important for Tech to have a bye week right now amidst all the hype. Kind of just bring everyone back down to earth, kind of get their minds right again. And it makes it easier to go into an environment in Houston and kind of be refreshed and everything. Mason, to your point, I think we played at Houston
like 7 or 8 years ago, I think.
Did that?
No, it was actually more recent than that.
It was when Ed Oliver was there.
Yeah, sorry.
It was like 2019. I think we played there 7 times actually.
My bad. I didn't grow up.
Yeah, I don't.
Tech fan,
They actually are beating us head to head, 18-16 in wins. But we're on a 6-game win. We're on a 6-game win streak though. So
yeah, gotcha.
But
Ed Oliver, what a name, man. Houston.
That's all Houston had. Whenever there was no one at that game.
They were
ranked and we beat them.
Greg Ward.
I don't know if it was that. I don't know if they were ranked that time.
I thought they were. I thought they were like. I thought they were 17.
Let me go look.
Was Davis Webb QB for that game?
Yes.
Okay. That was like 2015, I think. Yeah. Because he went to Cal 2016.
No, I thought it was 7. I don't know. I thought it was the 17.
Yeah, he was somewhere.
I think it was 17.
I recently started following college football, so you guys got me. I grew up as an NFL guy.
Let's go 17.
Yeah.
And imagine.
Okay, yeah. It was 17.
That's all I lived. 17?
Dang.
Yeah.
Damn.
We won 27-24. Yeah, I remember. It was an early game, 11 a.m. It was hot.
But yeah, ultimately, I think that's the last time we played at Houston. But ultimately, I think the bye week's huge for us. Kind of regrouping and going back down to earth after that win.
For sure.
See, Sam, you got it?
AJ, what you think?
Yeah, I think what the bye week really does is it takes the tension off of you, and it kind of reduces expectations because you're coming off of a huge win on the road, and then if you were to come back and play, you can kind of get into your head a little bit that you are that elite team. And what the bye week does is it kind of it gaps it, and it gets you locked back in to the situation. And if Houston wins, like they'll be undefeated going into that game, which they'll probably beat Oregon State, which is Oregon State looks really bad. So we'll see how they do, and if it's two undefeated teams, there's a possibility if Houston looks really good on Saturday, and some teams at the top of the top 25, 20 through 25, if they lose, there's a chance that Houston becomes ranked. This could be another ranked matchup, and you could see some hype building up. But it's going to feel like a road. I mean, it's kind of almost going to feel like a home game for Tech. Like I feel like there's going to be a lot of red and black for the Red Raiders in Houston because Houston fans aren't the greatest when it comes to football.
Well, it also helps that we're in powdered blues too, so that we can see all the red and black.
Yeah. No, but I'm from Houston. I'm a big fan of the powdered blues.
Me too. I think they're cool.
I think they're
matching.
Hey, Sam, real question. You're a Texans fan. Who owns the powder blue? The Titans or the Texans?
It's really dumb. The Titans own it. Yeah, so the Oilers.
Yeah.
The Titans are the Oilers, and so we don't have the rights to the. So every year when the Texans play the Titans will wear the alternates. They'll wear those Oilers jerseys, and we will destroy them. So that's why the Titans, they're petty. So there's my rant.
Yeah, I wanted to know what you were thinking on that because we all know the Houston.
It's really stupid.
Yeah.
We should have the rights, but
I think we all kind of touched up. I think there's nothing I can really say that you guys haven't already said on that game. So why don't we move on to this week's game of the match? I think I got a couple of them listed. We're gonna have everybody vote on them, see how we do, and we're gonna start trying to see how we get a record of how we do throughout the year. But I want to see what your guys' game of the weeks are first before I announce the ones that I have written down that we should really talk about.
I got a big one in the. There's two I'm really eyeing right now. I'm looking at the slates. We got a big one in the SEC. Is Auburn at A&M. I think that's a defining game for both teams. Auburn, how can they bounce back after a tough loss to OU? And A&M, can they keep that undefeated streak, and can they prove that they're the real deal this year? It's a 3:30 kick at Kyle Field. Should be electric, but I think that's a big one. Also, another big one, Indiana and Iowa. How is Indiana going to respond after coming off a huge 50-point win at Illinois against a stout Iowa defense at Iowa? That's a 3:30 kickoff as well.
Are you talking about the underrated Iowa?
No, it's really just the defense. I mean, Indiana just puts up 60 plus points, and then they now have to go play on the road at Iowa with one of the best defenses traditionally in the Big Ten. So two matchups right there I'm really looking at, and I'm really circling for potential upset candidates.
Mason?
Dude, obviously there's a lot of great games this weekend. In my opinion, the biggest one this weekend is obviously going to be Oregon at Penn State. That's a huge game for the Big Ten because that likely is going to eliminate one team from contending for the Big Ten championship. Another game that I think has sneaky underlining, can determine the conference championship game is, I would say, tonight's game, Arizona State and TCU. Both teams right now.
That was the one I wrote down.
Really
I was
good.
excited for that one.
Obviously, a little bit of a homer for me, homer pick. But when you really look at it, TCU's going into their first Big 12 game. Arizona State's coming off their first Big 12 win of the year against Baylor last week in Waco. Both teams so far have looked really great offensively, and I overall think it's a game that's going to determine who gets that second seed into the Big 12 championship game because I think Tech runs the table and they make it. So I think this game, honestly, in terms of meaning, and also like JT was talking about with the SEC, with the A&M Auburn game, this is kind of like an elimination game for Auburn, in my opinion, because if you lose this game to A&M, there's no chance for you to make the SEC championship game. And then for A&M, you kind of learn, are they legit this year? Is this actually an A&M team that's not going to go 8-4 again? You know what I mean? And a lot of implications in that game. And another game, and that I think probably y'all will talk about here real soon, is the Magnolia Bowl. LSU and Ole Miss. Huge game, especially for LSU, because they have not been tested, really, in my opinion, yet this year. They've had horrible offense they've played against. and their offenses looked horrible against those teams. Now, I think Florida's defense is actually pretty good. If you watch the Florida games, their defense is solid. But LSU's looked god-awful. Garrett Nussmeier went from being a Heisman front-runner to he's probably about middle of the pack right now. So I think that's another huge game. And for me, those are some of the games I'm looking forward to this weekend. So what about you, Sam?
Well, I have a kind of an underrated game that could have CFP implications because if Notre Dame loses another game, my eyes, I don't see them making the CFP. And they play Arkansas this week, which an Arkansas team that's just been so unlucky. Their two losses could have been wins. They had two in both of those games late turnovers when they were driving to go take the lead. The Memphis game last week, they had 3 in the pocket and then they fumbled to end the game. So it's at Arkansas, early game. Another loss for Notre Dame, they're out of CFP, and that just gives another spot to somebody else to get that large because since they can't win a conference. And the only other team Notre Dame really has on their schedule besides Arkansas is USC. So Notre Dame loses this week, they're done in my eyes with the CFP, and that just gives another
ranked at that point.
Yeah, no, they won't be ranked. 1 and 3 team should never be ranked. One and 2 team shouldn't be ranked.
Down the road, even if they won out, they would not even be considered ranked because I don't think
so. That's a huge game for Notre Dame. And and also in terms of Notre Dame gets out, that's just gives the committee a reason to put another SEC team. So
yeah, I agree. No, then I'm glad you're talking about that Arkansas game because right now Sam Pittman is fighting for his life and his job right now to stay at Arkansas.
I think he's going. He's going after.
Yeah, he's well.
But they played some. It's not really their fault. I mean, they had 3 in the pocket. At worst, it should be 3-1. The Memphis game, they should have won.
Now I do have to talk about a game last night that I found pretty important was ECU and Army.
I was talking about that. Yeah.
And I say for that reason because Army did knock off K-State. And Army's sitting at I think 1 and 3 right now, with their only win being K-State. And ECU
they lost to Tarleton State too.
ECU threw the ball all over them. Now, granted, it was a nighttime game in Greenville, but ECU looks like a team. They have the 3rd fastest tempo offense in the country. They look like a team that can be dangerous in the American, and if they don't lose another game, their only loss right now is to NC State. If they don't lose a game, I can see them potentially pushing for a playoff spot. Do I think that's going to happen? No. They still have to get through Tulane in the American, and Memphis as well. So I don't see that happening. But ECU last night, credits to them, they looked very good.
I do have a question. Do we think the non-power 4 team that makes the CFP comes out of the American?
I can see it. I feel like the American's the best power for the group of 5 conference.
It's gonna end up being Memphis, Tulane, or potentially ECU if they run the table the rest of the season.
No, I gotta say I'm mad at Ohio. I'm still high on them.
I think
also North Texas
this week too.
Oh, yeah. Well, they're American. They're American too. So that's
UNC. Yeah. So I mean, and then UTSA is always a problem. So it's I feel like the Americans just a sneaky conference. They play a bunch of games on Thursday night. You never really notice them.
And then also South Florida, they can make it out of the American.
Yeah, that's so true.
In my eyes, if they run the table in the American and with the American, and their only loss is Miami, I don't see how they don't get in.
And they were close.
We gotta remember too. It's the highest ranked group of 5. They don't have to be in the top 12. It's just the highest ranked.
Correct.
Group of 5.
It's the highest ranked
so
group of 5.
Really, ultimately, all the group of 5s can lose 2 games each, and it's just whoever is that's why it's so hard to pick because they can all lose 2 games. It's just the highest ranked one at the end of the season, and one of them could be 12-0 and not even ranked, and they still make it. So it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But AJ, sorry, I cut you off. Where's your this weekend picks and stuff? Your games.
I think the only one that I have written down here that I don't think I heard any of y'all say was Baylor and OSU, Oklahoma State. I don't think it's going to be one of those incredible matches, but I think it's going to be one of those ones where you want to see how Oklahoma State's going to rebound after the Gundy firing. And maybe they pull it out on Baylor, give them a little bit of a harder time. It's just it's just a game that I really want to see, especially it being Big 12 and two teams that Baylor you might end up seeing. I think there's a chance they make an outdoor run to Arlington, and then Oklahoma State, we clearly play them later this year, so That might be a fun one that I wrote down. But I think I think all the other ones you guys touched up on, which I guess should we get everybody's? Let me get another piece of paper so I can.
I guess for now, I say there's another game I haven't mentioned, and it's not on paper. It doesn't look like a good game to bet on, but Florida State plays at Virginia tonight.
Yeah,
and it's in Charlottesville. It's a 7 p.m. kick. Virginia's sitting, I think, at 3-1 right now.
They're 3-1. Cover is 6.5.
It's 6.5.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be closer than people think. Virginia might have a serious case to beat them tonight.
Dang, who is Virginia Tech's quarterback?
Virginia. Chandler Morris.
Yeah, he's got 1,000 yards already and starts
TCU's.
I mean, to be fair, Virginia has really not played.
No, they haven't played. I mean, they're one loss of NC State. So.
NC State. But it was on the road, too, so it's not like...
Yeah, it was
Carter
Finley's a tough place to play. I mean, I'll be at Carter Finley tomorrow night, so for the game against Virginia Tech, it's a night game, so...
I mean, but who has Florida State played other than Alabama yet? They got Kent State and East Texas.
East Texas A&M, all right?
Why are we hating on Kent State now? That's a good win. That's a solid win.
I was about to say, we struggled against them. You know,
Y'all are talking bad about Virginia, but yeah, I'm looking at theirs, and there's Stanford,
okay, you can't really say
Western
who
Michigan,
they
and then they lost to North Carolina State.
Because their first conference game was against Stanford at home, so that really is just like another FCS game. So, I mean, unfortunately, it kind of doesn't really tell the full. But I personally am a big fan of Chandler Morris. I liked him at TCU. He didn't really fit well into their scheme. But he's got one heck of an arm. I mean, he's already got 1,000 passing yards on the year with 8 touchdowns and 2 picks. I think he's a stud. I wanted to make a comment real quick, AJ, because you brought up the OSU Baylor game, which is like really funny timing because in 2021 when TCU fired Gary Patterson, the week after they fired him, they played Baylor at home and ended up upsetting Baylor, which was one of Chandler Morris's best games he's ever had, right? So we could potentially see another situation of a legendary head coach getting fired and then Baylor getting upset the following week. So I just wanted to.
It's something we see in the NFL. A lot of intramural coaches will end up winning their first game somehow. I'm thinking Jeff Saturday, Antonio Pierce. Who else interims that ended up winning on top of my head? I don't know, but those two are the two I can think of recently that have won. So it's
last time Tech played in a bowl game in San Antonio. I think it was the Texas Bowl. It was, I don't know what year. It was like 2013. Before Kingsbury got hired, and it was a game right before we went into a game against ranked Minnesota in a bowl game that no one had us winning, and our interim coach brought us to a win. So interim coaches do wonders.
Yeah, they're fighting.
It's just crazy. But and it's like Sharon. It was like Sharon Moore with the whole Jim Harbaugh situation. Look at him now.
Yeah.
So it's a whole thing. But we got big games this week. Let's focus on the 3 tonight right now. Florida State, Virginia. Who y'all got?
I'm gonna go Florida State. I still think their offense is great. I know Castellanos is like he had somewhat of a tweak on his ankle last week against Kent State, so that's something to watch for. But I think overall their team is really like stacked. They've got a lot of good young talent on the defensive side of the football. I think Virginia hangs in this game. I think it'll be a close one through 3 quarters. But I think kind of going into the 4th, you start to see the depth issues that Virginia may have compared to FSU. I don't really like Tony Elliott that much, to be honest with you, Virginia's head coach, because he's looked horrendous the past few years. And one thing that Chandler Morris struggles with in big-time games is interceptions and turnover issues. So that's something also to watch too, because when we played UNC last year here in Lubbock, which a lot of them weren't necessarily his fault, but he ended up having, I think it was 3 or 4 interceptions. So see how he does against, in my opinion, like superior teams.
I got Florida State. I'm going Florida State tonight. I mean, I like this Florida State team and how they were able to rebound off of last year. I just think they were ranked way too high for how quick it was just one win, they were instantly ranked as high as they were. But doesn't mean I'm not a Florida State believer. I believe that they'll end up beating Virginia tonight.
Sam?
Yeah, I'll give Florida State by 2 scores. I don't really have much to add. I just think that they played Alabama and they look good. So
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely one to watch. I think I'm going Florida State too. Next game tonight, 9 p.m. on Fox, TCU and Arizona State. We all got.
man,
I'll let one of y'all go first.
Yeah. Let's see. It's TCU versus ASU at ASU. TCU.
Blackout, 9 p.m. kick, everything. It's in Tempe added blackout. Like I'm going Arizona State.
I was kind of once you said
the line's
that,
2.5. I think Arizona State wins by 10.
after you said it was a night out game and blackout at ASU, I gotta go with you on that one. And I think ASU is probably the better team.
Arizona State, they really lost a lot of production when they lost Scadaboo. And I'm not I feel like a lot of people like Kenny Dillingham. I just don't. I feel like he kind of complains a lot. But this is a TCU team. Like they kind of embarrassed SMU like last week. Like that was a very sloppy game. Like it was kind of crazy. But TCU is a really good team. So I think TCU wins. I think it's kind of going to be a shootout. Like I think both of these. I think 30s.
I'd smash the over on that.
Yeah, let's see what is it? I think it's
54.5.
I think both of these
That's
teams.
easy money.
I think both of these teams score 30 plus points. The Tyson for Arizona State. I was unaware he was related to Jalen Tyson.
Yeah, that's the
Texas
whole
Tech.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, he looks like him, and then I looked it up, and
AJ, he plays for your Cavs, and you still don't know who he is.
That is true.
Yeah, Mason, who you got?
This is a really interesting game for me because my gut wants to say, oh yeah, TCU for sure, but then you got the blackout, you got a 9:30 kickoff time.
Hey, new jerseys for Arizona State too.
Yes, and they are fire. I will say they're sick. And this game really is going to come down to once again depth because when you look at the injury report for this game, Arizona State's going to be without their top corner, Xavier Alford. He's out for the game. As we all know, Eric McAllister for TCU just dropped 230 yards, and I think it was 3 touchdowns last week. And he's obviously TCU's number one. So ASU not having their number one, and they're also missing one of their better depth safeties and former TCU commit Montana Warren. So I think that's kind of going to come to it's like a disadvantage for Arizona State. But then on the flip side, TCU's also dealing with injuries too. They're missing one of their linemen. Their starting running back is out. So it's very much, and I don't even really want to make a pick for this because I can see it going either way. I can see Arizona State winning by 10, and I can see TCU winning by 10. But just for the sheer fact that Josh Hoover is playing like a Heisman caliber quarterback right now, and how well Kendall Briles has that offense running for TCU, I've got to go with the Frogs on this one. I still think Arizona State is a great team, and they're still going to compete for the Big 12. But I think TCU's offense is going to wear down their defense really quick, and I think Frogs will win probably by like 3 or 4, and it definitely will be like a 50-40 game for sure.
So we got a perfect split.
Game tonight at 9 p.m. on Fox. Let's go ahead. The final game of the night, Houston at Oregon State. I say we go better spread on this. Do we like the line? Do we think it should be higher? I mean, obviously, I think we all know our picks going to be Houston.
14.5.
Yeah.
I think we all know our picks. The line
we're at 13.5.
Let's go over. Let's bet for our picks for this one. Let's go over under 13.5.
This one's but that Oregon State, right?
Yes.
This one.
I'll probably hit the over on Houston. U of H.
I'm gonna hit the under. I think it's by 13 exactly.
That is what happens. Oregon State, I think they've only played, I want to say, 1 home game so far this year, and it was against Fresno State the week before they played us here in Lubbock, and they lost by. See if I can get that score pulled up real quick. They lost by a good chunk
Yeah, that was a bad game. They lost
Yeah, it
36-27.
I'm just
Yeah,
thinking if
I've-
Houston's a capable team, they'll end up.
I think
Or not
Connor
capable. If
Weidman-
they're as good as we're
Connor
saying,
Weidman this
look at how
season
bad
had-
we destroyed them. I think it's going to be same situation.
I think Connor Weidman this season hasn't played in a real environment away, and I think this is going to be his first one. Actually, no, because they play Colorado at home. Yeah, I think they win by 13. I think I'm hitting the
a
under.
true road game.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna do the over on that. I think one thing that is underrated about Corvallis is their fan base is really loyal. Like they're one of those kind of sneaky good fan bases.
Yeah.
The fact that they finally have an actual game for a lot of fans worth going to, like actual opponent, I think it'll have a little bit more of an environment because no shade to Houston, they have no sort of environment whatsoever at home. Like there's no intimidation factor when you go down there to TD ECU Stadium. So I think obviously Houston wins this for sure. Like I think they win, they cover the spread for easily, but I definitely think it's gonna be one of those close early games, and then Houston just drags it on throughout the second half.
Yeah, we'll make things interesting. I'll say that Oregon covers on the 13.5. Houston, their one road game is Rice, and that's maybe a 15-minute drive from where they are. So they had a bye week. They haven't played in a week, and they played a bad Colorado team. They really haven't been tested. So I think, for sure, like what Mason said, they come out of the gates in the first half a little slow. I'm guessing Oregon State altitude is a little higher than below sea level in Houston. That might play a factor. I'm not really sure, Oregon State. But Oregon State played Oregon last week. It was close for a little bit. Like the first quarter and a half, it was a one-score game. I think Malik Murphy might have a field day after playing an Oregon and a Texas Tech defense. I feel like the game will slow down for him. I think it's going to be closer than people think. I think, and definitely first half. I would say for sure Oregon State covers first half, but I just want to make things interesting, and I'll say Oregon State covers the game.
I agree with Sam there.
All right.
That's a good
Big
sneak play.
one. Move to Saturday. Skip over Georgia Tech Wake. I think we all have Georgia Tech.
Let's see. I got Texas A&M Auburn as the next one.
I was gonna hit up. I'm going by time, so I was gonna hit up USC and Illinois at a noon kickoff, big noon on Fox.
USC by 1,000. I'm never going to Illinois again. USC by 1,000. USC by 1,000.
I'll take USC.
Yeah, USC.
Yeah, I'll go USC. And then let's see, I think it was Mason's sleeper. It might have been Sam's. Notre Dame at Arkansas. Who we got now?
Sam's.
This is at noon on ABC.
I'm gonna go Arky. They always are sneakily good at non-conference games. I don't know if y'all remember back in 2021 when UT went up there to Fayetteville. Mind you, that was not a good Arkansas team to begin with, and Arkansas routed them 40-something to 10 because the environment was just insane up there. I think that's gonna get into Notre Dame a little bit because we saw how bad their offense was down in Miami with a subpar type of environment. So imagine going up against 100,000 rednecks just screaming "Woo Pig Suey." So I got Arky in that.
I'm going Notre Dame. I think Notre Dame's been close in every match that they've played. Yeah, they've gotten unlucky and lost them. But I think their loss to A&M really showed how good Notre Dame as a team was. So I'm going to go Notre Dame to beat Arkansas because I think I trust Notre Dame, especially coming off of what the year they had last year, that they can survive an SEC atmosphere.
Sam?
So I'm going to take Arkansas just based on the fact that they have the number one kicker in last year's class coming in. He was in my school district, so I got to call a game. And I'm pretty sure I called his only missed field goal.
Oh, so it's
the Women's Conroe game. He missed a 55. He was like a 50-something yarder. And I was trying to announce for change. So I was like, he hasn't missed this season, and he missed. But he's going to kick a game-winning field goal. They're not going to turn it over to end the game. Notre Dame lost at home. Notre Dame doesn't lose at home. They lost at home, which they shouldn't have lost. But they were fighting for their life. So I can see this game going either way. But I'm going to go with Arkansas.
Sleeper game in the ACC, kind of still has implications. Louisville at Pitt.
That's a solid game. Personally, I love Louisville's offense. I love how Jeff Brom's system is and how well he's able to get quarterbacks that shouldn't be good and make them good. Tyler Shook. Anyway,
Hey, that's an NFL QB right there.
Second round pick.
Yeah, it's an NFL QB right there. Doing a lot of crap right there.
He might have the label of being the NFL, but he's not a QB.
Man, I watched that Oregon game. I watched oh god. Anyway, but back on track. Louisville's a really good team. So was Pitt. However, Pitt lost to a really bad West Virginia team because we just saw how bad Kansas did West Virginia. I think Kansas is still a solid team, but West Virginia's defense is non-existent, and you get guys like Colin Lacey and all of them out there on offense for Louisville, and I think it'll be good. So I'm gonna say Louisville.
It's at Pitt, by the way, just so y'all know.
I don't think it matters.
Hold on,
So we all
JT.
going
Who
Louisville?
did you get? Who'd you have for the Notre Dame game?
Arky.
You had Arky? Okay, cool.
So are we all going Louisville?
Yeah, I'll probably.
I am, yeah.
I'm going
They're
Louisville.
going Cards.
Sleeper game, 3:30 on CBS. Ohio State at Washington at Husky Stadium.
I'm going Buckeyes.
Well, yeah, we do that.
Yeah.
Well, really?
That was really with the Cleveland jersey
I-
and everything.
I think I'm gonna give my analysis on this one. I'm kind of being the Reese Davis of this right now, but I'm going Washington. I like Washington this year. I think they pull it off. I really do.
I'm piggyback off you, JT, just to kind of feed into what you were giving off. Washington's offense, their quarterback and running back duo is absurd so far this year. Jonah Coleman is probably going to end up being a top 10 candidate for the Heisman. Damon Williams is just a sophomore, and dude is a beast. Now, the receivers, I don't know too much about. Obviously, they've produced a ton of first-round guys with Rome Odunze, Jalen McMillan. You know, it just goes on and on. Yes. Hey, not to mention, you also got the OG John Ross, right? Even though he didn't work out in the NFL. So I think it's going to be a really tough game for Ohio State. However, I would be lying if I said I didn't think they're the better team, especially defensively. I'm going to go Ohio State, but I do think this could swing in Washington's favor as well. So I'm kind of going to say 50-50 on that.
Sam.
I'm just gonna go with Ohio State. It's not much to say. They
like
played a
the
good Texas defense, and I just don't think that Washington's defense is going to be able to withstand a full game. I feel like, obviously first half might be close. Ohio State, however, is battle tested. But the road environment, it could
Husky
Stadium
Stadium
impact.
It's insane.
I do think like it is
It's a really
the
beautiful.
fact that they have to travel cross country could play into some things.
That
I
too.
don't know, but you're losing 3 hours of time. So like the 2:30 game here is really gonna feel like 4:30 or whatever. It's 3 hour difference, so it's gonna feel they're playing 12:30 there, I think, and then
It's
it's still 3:30.
3:30 kick there, so yeah, there's 3:30 kick here, so it'd be 12:30 there.
12:30.
Yeah.
The 3 hour
Alright.
difference.
Yeah. LSU at Ole Miss. That is at 3:30 on ABC at Vaught Hemingway. I'll just go ahead and make my pick. I got Ole Miss.
Okay. This one is really hard because Ole Miss looks like a completely different team with Trinidad Childress right now at QB. I mean, I'm going to go with JT on this. I'm going to say Ole Miss for the sheer fact they're at home. Ole Miss has looked LSU has looked horrible on offense. And the fact that Ole Miss is probably going to put up points despite LSU having a great defense, I just don't think LSU is going to be able to match what God bless Ole Miss scores. So give me Ole Miss.
I don't know.
Sam, what you think?
Yeah.
Lane Kiffin's daughter.
Shout out Lee.
That's also why he's pissed off.
That's why I am going Ole Miss.
Yeah.
Probably by 1,000. This is Lane Kiffin is playing for something more than football right now.
Not to mention,
That could potentially be his son-in-law in the future, and so there's bigger stakes to this than just
Speaking of which,
But they are at home, and LSU, like we just said, they looked so bad. The Clemson. I mean, no, the Clemson win looked even worse when they got pummeled at home to Syracuse at Death Valley.
Yeah.
So, this LSU team, if they can get things clicking, it'll be a good game. But on the road, I just don't see them winning this game, especially with the circumstances recently occurring this week. So, I'll take Ole Miss.
Let's see. You know what? I gotta go with the team that's ranked in the top 5. I mean, just that way I'm different from everybody else. I do like LSU's. I do like LSU's defense. I do trust them. I'm gonna for a crazy statement. I'm gonna trust the AP poll here and that they've got the right team ranked higher.
Yeah, I'm not trusting an AP poll that had USF ranked ahead of Florida State, in that whole situation. Anyway, Next game, Auburn at A&M, 3:30, ESPN. Now, something to point out that I forgot to mention earlier, Auburn knocked off A&M in overtime last year. Could that be fuel to the fire for A&M this year? I don't think so. I'm going with Auburn.
Okay. I like it. I think Jackson Arnold coming off a week where he got sacked 10 times. It's hard for me not to believe that Hugh Freeze is going to make some type of adjustments and pass pro. I think it's going to go close, but Kyle Field is just such an intimidating place. I mean, and the fact that the game's going to end up being probably about nighttime, especially going into the fourth quarter, I'm going to go A&M, but I do think Auburn hangs in there, though, and this is a close game.
Guys, don't mind me real quick. I'm trying something. I'm trying to set the gallery up to where all 4 of us are on the side, and I can pull up the stuff on the side, and I clicked the wrong button, so sorry about that.
Are you good?
Sam, what do you think about this game?
Man, I don't really know. But Kyle Field is a crazy place to play. But Auburn went into a ranked game last week against Oklahoma. And they got that experience. It was a good game.
They got cheated out of a win.
Yeah,
100%.
Auburn has already played Baylor on the road. They've already played Oklahoma on the road. So they've already gotten these road atmospheres under the belt for the season. And Jackson Arnold and Marcel Reed, they're both guys that have played in big games before. So I expect it to be a really good game. I really don't expect a lot of turnovers. And Marcel Reed, there's something different about this A&M team this year. I do think they're better than 8-4. I think they have a chance in the SEC this year. So I'm gonna give the slight edge to A&M. Even though I don't like A&M, I'm gonna give them the slight edge. Just to Kyle Field, it's playing Kyle Field is different than anywhere else.
For sure.
AJ.
Yeah, I'm going A&M here. Sorry, so since we're still starting this up and there's nobody listening anyways, I'm trying to put this on so on my end right now, on the stream, if you pull it up on your phone, you can actually see the schedule and all of us, but there's a bunch of black space because it's in a grid instead of in vertical, so I'm trying to figure out how to switch it to vertical.
Next game, I think I'll put on the slate. 3:30 on Fox kickoff. Utah at West Virginia. That's one I'm interested in.
What you think about J2? Who you got?
It comes to
that game.
Mr. Conspiracy Theorist here.
I think it's an obvious answer. I just wanted it's at West Virginia too. I'm going Utah. I think they bounce back.
For sure. I also agree with your pick. I think Utah wins this. Have y'all seen the uniforms West Virginia's wearing for this game? They're throwbacks.
Yeah.
Man, I think it's going to be a great crowd. I think, Milan Puskey Stadium is always really hyped, especially when the team's somewhat decent. However, I'm not fully bought into Rich Rod being the solution to solving West Virginia yet, and how bad their defense was last week. I think it's really going to aid Utah after them coming off a week where they played arguably a top 10 defense and us. So I definitely think Utah is going to end up winning that.
I don't see Utah. West Virginia being close. Was it AJ's turn? AJ, you go.
I had no clue.
I'm saying let's go West Virginia.
What?
I don't know. I'm honestly at
You're trying to get the underdog. I respect it.
Yep,
I
that's
respect it.
we'll say that's what I'm going for.
Bro's picking percentage is going to be insane.
Right now, honestly, right now I'm.
So Sam, I'm
still
guessing
trying to
you're
play
going
this.
Utah.
Yeah, Utah by like 3 touchdowns.
All right, bet.
There's
Another-
no shot. Like, Bucks Virginia's
Yeah.
bad.
Hey, you know what?
Another
I don't care if you're at
Ditch
home.
me out of here on
Another interesting game, 4:15 on the SEC Network. Tennessee at Mississippi State.
Okay. I didn't even know they were playing this week.
I didn't either. I didn't even see that.
That's a sneaky upset game. That is
I'm
a huge
picking
sneaky
Tennessee.
upset
I think
game.
Tennessee's too good. I'm sorry. I really do. I think Tennessee steamrolls them.
I agree. I'm gonna be realistic and I'm gonna pick Tennessee, but there's a part of me that hopes and prays it's like another ASU game where they just somehow claw their way back into it at the end and then end up upsetting. But I'm gonna go Tennessee.
I'm looking at Mississippi State's schedule, and they got their next 6 games are Tennessee, A&M, Florida, Texas, Arkansas, Georgia.
Jeez.
That's pretty bad.
That is a tough part of the schedule.
Mississippi State's had their fun, but I think it's over.
Man, I don't know. Yeah, I'll go Tennessee. I think it's going to be close. Mississippi State. I love the Cowbells. So, but they were battle tested. So, yeah, we'll see.
For sure.
I'll give it to Tennessee though.
AJ, who you got?
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what game we're talking about. I'm focused on it. So you guys just don't worry about me for right now. Give me a quick second to work on
Do you
this.
want the underdog for every game? What if mark you down for the underdog?
You know what?
Just
Fine.
pick Mississippi State.
Wait, hold on. Let me just see. Who is Mississippi State playing?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Oh no, I'm going Tennessee. I'm definitely going
All
Tennessee.
right. Arizona at Iowa State, 7 p.m. on ESPN.
I'm gonna go. I think they're playing at Iowa State, right?
Yeah, it's at
Yeah,
Jack Track.
I'm going Cyclones.
Sam.
Yeah,
I'm
okay,
not
right.
bought into this Iowa State propaganda. They haven't looked good.
Their
Really,
defense,
any
it's
game.
just their offense.
Yeah.
Rocco is not a good quarterback. We saw that last year when we played them. Like, he had 2 NFL wide receivers that got drafted, and they score 14 or 21 against us? It wasn't like they didn't put up crazy numbers. I know it was a little cold, but still, if you have 2 NFL talents, you should be able to be a little better. And he like that. I understand it was week 0 when they played Kansas State, but that game was just ugly. So I'm gonna take the upset. I'm gonna go with Arizona because why not?
I think it stays close the whole time. I think Iowa State escapes one again, just barely, because that seems to be what they do.
Yeah, I'm going Iowa State.
Especially at home. It's just us winning last year at Iowa State was just beautiful because normally that never happens with teams. So I don't know what it is about Ames, Iowa, but it's like a mini Salt Lake City. It just, especially at night, it just traps you. And I think, unfortunately, I want Arizona to win, but unfortunately, I think they do sneak one out. So
I think we're in our final 3 here. Kind of a nighttime game starting up. 7:30 kick on NBC and Peacock. Oregon at Penn State.
game of the week.
I think Bama Georgia is a better game than that, in my opinion.
For sure. If we're talking like pure entertainment and like traditional wise, absolutely.
But we have Oregon at Penn State, NBC, 7:30 kick to whiteout in Beaver Stadium. But give me the Oregon Ducks to absolutely smash Penn State. It's not going to be close.
Thank you. I don't think it's known enough how bad Penn State is at home against top 5 teams, especially under James Franklin.
It's scary, though, because Penn State, in my opinion, has the best roster in college football. And it's not close.
Dude, their backfield is absurd. They've got 2 guys right now that could easily be like day 1 picks in case you're Allen and Nicholas Singleton.
I think Oregon's way too explosive. I think Oregon can definitely go up tempo in this game and just get them knocked out by the end of the first quarter. I'm hoping I'm wrong because I'd like to see Penn State at least get some win at some point. I don't hate Penn State by any means, but like I just don't see it happening. Beaver Stadium's getting renovated right now. It's not going to be as packed as it normally is. So I give me the Ducks by 17 at least.
Just in case you guys are wondering on if you guys should go to that game or not, ESPN has it listed how much the tickets are for that game. $612 is the lowest.
I mean, I bet. Happy Valley gets the money from football.
Yeah.
Especially taking out like 20,000 seats too. I mean, it's gonna make it even.
Who else? Y'all two, AJ, Sam. Who y'all got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Oregon. I'm not a big fan of Drew Aller. Going into the season, I saw a lot of mock drafts when he was the first quarterback taken, and I'm like, watch the same Drew Aller that I watched last year. He's not a guy that I want in clutch time situations. And again, James Franklin just doesn't win big games. And I feel like this Oregon team, eventually the money will start catching up. And I think that last year with Dylan Gabriel, they lost to the eventual national champs. They were one win away, in my opinion, to winning it all. And I think that until they win one, that they're playing with the chip on their shoulder. While Penn State I think Penn State's a little overrated.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I'm probably gonna go along the lines of. I'm gonna go with Penn State here. I mean, Penn State. Unlike you guys, I like Drew Aller, but I'm also a little biased because there was reports that he was a Cleveland Browns fan, and so he when the Browns were talking about going to get him last draft.
Please go to the Browns. Please draft him.
It was one that the fan base actually generally wanted. The rushing yards.
You have Shador, you're fine.
I'm not dealing with it. No, yeah, I can't deal with him. But no, Penn State always has a phenomenal defense. They've only given up 17 points in their all three games. I mean, yeah, Villanova and Nevada were the only teams that scored, but still, 17 points against whoever is still incredible. Yeah.
Well, and to be fair, Nova scored with like time expiring in that game too. So.
Oh, dude, I saw that because they covered.
Yeah.
I want to give y'all.
I was just gonna say Alabama at Georgia, 7:30 ABC. Kirk Herbstreit, Chris Fowler, the whole crew gonna be there, which I personally don't like. I think they do too much SEC primetime at night. I think it needs to be Penn State, Oregon, but they'll never do that. So we got that game on ABC in Athens. I want to pick Georgia, but Kirby Smart is 1-6 in his career against Alabama, and it's going to be 1-7. I think Alabama pulls one out here.
I've got Georgia.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. And it's in Athens, right? So
yeah.
It's at Georgia. It's just.
It's in Athens. I'm really high on the Georgia team.
It's hard for me to pick against Georgia, but I'm going Alabama.
Yeah. I think Ty Simpson has improved a lot versus week one. I think he's really. I mean, if we want to talk about a quarterback more deserving, I would say him over Drew Aller, in my opinion. Also, I wanted to give you one stat with Drew Aller real quick, just to kind of show how bad he's been this year. His QBR is currently 38.7.
Jeez.
That is 106th in FBS. So I just wanted to. But anyway, I think I'm gonna go with JT on this. I think Alabama sneaks one out just because Alabama seems to always be Georgia's kryptonite in the regular season. So and even in postseason. So I'm gonna go Bama.
I'm going with Georgia. I think their competition's been. I think they've played really well against their competition. The Tennessee game especially, where they went to overtime in that one. And I think Georgia's just a better team over Alabama, so I'm going Georgia. Especially, and it being in Athens. Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, I think the fact that it's in Athens kind of changes the dynamic of this game, especially since it's a night game. I'm very conflicted there. I had a really good friend who's from Alabama, and he's a big Alabama fan. And then I got one of my guys plays at Georgia, and so I'm gonna go with Georgia here. Though I think the fact that it's in Athens, I think it could go either way. Obviously, Alabama kind of needs this win from the fact that they lost a game they didn't expect to lose in Florida State. So big CFP implications obviously in that game.
And then our nightcap here to cap it off at 10:15 on ESPN. We have BYU at Colorado. BYU first time in the rankings this year. This is a huge game for our schedule. Trap game in Folsom Field in Boulder. 10:15. We all got.
Plain and simple, I'm going BYU.
I'm gonna pick BYU solely because I want them to be ranked when we play them. But I think this is a trap game.
Yeah, I think it could be. I'm gonna choose BYU just solely on the fact that if they're ranked high enough, we can get game day here when BYU comes to town. It also perfectly lines up with Kansas City's bye week. So they could have a perfect guest picker.
He's already coming. Him and Andy Reid are both coming.
So he would be the guest picker in my eyes if game day comes. Since we're in his jerseys anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hope BYU wins, obviously, for the ranked matchup, and it helps boost our strength of schedule. I don't know if I'm sold yet on BYU, just because of the young quarterback they've got right now in Bear Bachmeier. I still think their defense is really great. I think Colorado's going to struggle heavily against that. So I say Cougs end up winning.
And then game day application potential for us. The only thing I think we really need to worry about is if A&M keeps winning and Missouri keeps winning. They play that weekend. If Iowa State and TCU keep winning, it's at TCU, the Iowa State game. That's the only competition. There's also Indiana and Penn State. I don't think Indiana stays, and if Penn State loses, they're already having game day at Penn State this week, so it's not going to go back there. Our only real competition for game day that day, I'd say, is A&M Mizzou and Iowa State and TCU.
Yeah, for sure. I think they went to A&M twice last year, though.
They did, but it's at Missouri. They haven't been to Missouri in a long time.
Wow, so yeah.
So my biggest concern. Oh, and there's Auburn at Vanderbilt, and it's SEC. It's SEC though.
If Auburn has 3 losses by then, I don't see how they go. I mean, the only way they would go is if Vanderbilt's still undefeated.
I mean, there are realistic chances that we get game day that week. If BYU and we keep winning, it is a very real chance.
If we're undefeated and BYU has 1 loss or less, I don't see how it doesn't come.
No, BYU needs to be undefeated.
You think so?
Mm-hmm.
What's their schedule? I need to see. Did they play any games in between there?
I don't know because BYU it needs to be a competition. In order for them to come to a Big 12 school, it has to be a game where it's a competition for the Big 12 championship. And right now, they're either going to pick between us or TCU.
Ooh, okay. So with BYU, they've obviously got Colorado tomorrow night. Then they play West Virginia at home. That should be an easy win. Yeah. Then they go on the road at Arizona. I think that's a sneaky game for BYU because Arizona's offense has been pretty solid this year.
I mean, we need Arizona State. We need Arizona State to beat TCU tonight if we want game day to happen.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Their 3 games before us is at Arizona, at home against Utah, which that game is going to be insane, and then on the road at Iowa State the week before us.
Yeah, so that's going to be. I still think that if they only lose one game,
TCU?
BYU.
No, for BYU.
Oh, I even think a one-loss BYU team might still be ranked that late in the season, and if we're undefeated, we're looking at top 8.
Yeah. At that point,
they're gonna pick Iowa State. If they're gonna pick Iowa State, TCU.
Well, it depends. It depends how Iowa State implodes.
This is actually stressing me out now. We have a legitimate chance.
We have legitimate chance last year. They didn't come.
Oh my no! LSU at Alabama.
Oh
That's
yeah,
it.
no.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, is it that week?
Let's forget that we even talked about this.
I didn't even
Obviously.
see that matchup.
that's raps. That they're going. Wait, he says
It's at Alabama.
Oh,
Alabama
yeah.
could be unranked. Alabama could be unranked and they'll still go there.
Oh yeah, no.
Especially with it being
Both
an SEC.
teams will.
The thing is, they have to go to at least one Big 12 game.
No, they
I
don't.
don't.
They have,
No, they
and
don't.
ESPN has rights to the SEC.
They have Big 12 rights too.
No, Fox and TNT have them now.
I would say our best hope that week would be Big Noon kickoff again.
I don't want Big Noon
No, I don't want Big Noon
I'm just saying though, because if Bama and LSU are playing that week, there's no way in hell we're getting game day. There's no way.
You don't know, dude. LSU
We do have
Alabama
1 minute
was.
left, just so y'all know.
Yeah.
I'm praying if Alabama loses. Okay, now I'm changing my pick to Georgia. Change my pick to Georgia. Change my pick to Georgia right
Based
now.
solely off of a game that happens in 6 weeks
Yeah.
or 7 weeks,
Yeah.
so we can have the possibility of getting game day. I like it.
This is our only possibility at all. But anyway,
It's a pretty loss Alabama.
that'll end the podcast today. So thank y'all for tuning in. College football talk, and we'll see y'all next week.
Catch y'all later.